Hello everyone, welcome back. Another guitar lesson for you here. I'm Martin Tennant, and today we're going to cover all things power chords. Now, power chords are basically a two-note chord, or sometimes a three-note chord or more, where it consists of the root note of the chord and the fifth of a chord, which technically means that they're neither major or minor in terms of quality. They've got a kind of neutral sound because basically it's a chord that's minus any sort of third or seventh whatsoever. It just consists of the root and fifth. But what's really nice about them is that they're perfect chords for rock and metal music. They can even be found in some acoustic music from time to time. But if you want to be playing a lot of rock and metal stuff, this is something that you absolutely have to know. And it is arguably one of the easiest things to play on the guitar as well. Most beginners start off by playing power chords and then building upon their chord repertoire from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some of the most commonly found and commonly used types of power chords that you can play on the guitar. There are various number of them, there's quite a few to go through. I'll just give you a quick overview of some of them, and then at the end of the video I've got a backing track and a workout exercise where we'll be playing a bunch of these chords with a backing track, as I said, and you can play along to it and have some fun with these power chords. So let's just get straight to it. I'm going to zoom in on the neck and show you some of these chords. Let's dive straight into this with power chords. I'm going to start off with some of the easiest ones, which is based here on the open position. Those are the first three we're going to cover. Once you know one of them, you can basically do them all because they're pretty much the same thing. So what we have, first of all, there's the first power chord. It's a low E power chord. A little bit of distortion, it sounds great. You instantly get that heavy rock sound from it. It has, like the name suggests, it has power. Okay, so to play this thing, all we have is open E, just open low E on its own. Then on the first finger it goes on the second fret of A string. And then using your first finger you can mute out the other strings. Just like that, so you can play all strings or some of them without playing any other notes. You just want these two to sound out. And that's it. You do the exact same thing on the A string. So that is open A. And first finger goes on the second fret of the D string. That's A power chord. And you mute out the other strings, and you also have to be careful of this time with the A power chord with the low E. You can either use your thumb to mute it, or just be very cautious about where your pick lands when you hit this chord. Make sure it doesn't go over the low E string. I mean, the exact same thing can be done based on the D string. That's a D power chord, and that is open D, and first finger on the second fret of G. And then don't play strings low E and A, mute out the strings B and E, high E, that is to say, and then now you're good to go. Now we can expand on those chords by adding an extra finger and give it a bit more of a in-depth sound. Some people describe it as a more beefier sound, but more of a richer and more in-depth sound. Already, with that extra finger, it sounds a bit more intense. So basically it's the same thing as the first power chord. We're just going to add another finger. Second finger goes on the second fret, and for the E, we'll be going on the second fret of D. Mute out the finished strings, and that's it. Exact same thing can be done based on the A string. There's your A power chord. Same thing can be done for D, but the fingering is going to be a little different because of the tuning on the string means that you're going to have to adjust your fingering a little bit because this B string is not quite as adjacent as the other strings are. So what we're going to do for this one, your D power chord, so open D, first finger on second fret of G. Then we're going to add our third finger onto the third fret of the B string instead of the second fret, because we'll get that note, and that's not the right note. That's the one note we want. So again, open D, first finger on second fret of G, third finger on third fret of B. There you are. That's quite a popular AC/DC kind of chord. And another thing you can do, just to add to the E even further, we can actually extend the sound even more by doing this. So that is actually the same thing, but what we're doing instead, we're doing a bar across the second fret of the strings A and D, and we're going to add on our pinky to the fourth fret of the G string. So now we have 4 notes in this power chord. And that's a very rich sound indeed. That would be quite good for at the end of a song when you want to have a really heavy and rounded sound. At the end of a song you go like that. So you'll be like that. So what we have here, open A, partial bar covering strings D and G on the second fret. Then we're going to be getting the pinky doing a bar on strings B and E on the 5th fret. It's a little bit of a stretch. If you've got large hands like me, but you should be able to get it better. But just need a bit of practice to get that stretch. And then there you have it. And again, quite a well-rounded sound, that chord. Great. You can do another rich and rounded E power chord, but this time it's going to be based up here. It's quite a cool one, and a lot of famous players use this chord as well. What I have for this one is open E on the low E. Then we want to have first finger goes on the 7th fret of the A string. Okay, now third finger goes on the 9th fret of the D string. Your pinky goes on the 9th fret of the G string. Then we're going to have strings B and high E open. So open low E, 7th on the A, 9 on D, 9 on G, B, high E open. And that's the chord. And moving them around the neck a bit more. Then there's an easy way to do that. There's a 2-finger version, and then there's a 3-finger version you can do to take the power chord shape and move it about the neck. Should start off with the 2-finger version. So we're going to play, first finger goes on the 3rd fret on the A string. That's your C note right there. Now your 3rd finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the D string. And you want to mute out the low E and the upper 3 strings. And that is a C power chord. And if you want to extend the depthness of the chord, just add your pinky on top behind your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the G string. And then that's another version of a C major power chord. C power chord, sorry. You can do the exact same thing on the E And now you can move that chord anywhere on the neck, like. You could do the exact same thing based on the E string. So you can do the exact same thing based on the E string. That's a G power chord. It's the exact same thing as we did with C power chord, just to move it down a set of strings. So we have first finger on the low E on the 3rd fret. The 3rd finger goes on the 5th fret of the A string. And then you can add your pinky on the 5th fret on the D string as well to give it a bit more depth. And then once again you can move that across the neck as well. Finally, you can also do a movable chord based on the D string as well. This one might be a little bit tricky, or this version at least. The 3-finger version. The 2-finger version will be easier, so let's start with that one. So we're going to have a first finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. So we're going to have a first finger on the 3rd fret of D string. 3rd finger on the 5th fret of G string. And then that's an F power chord. And then to extend that, we have to get a pinky here, and instead of putting it on the, well, putting it on the B string, but instead of putting it behind the 3rd finger and on the 5th fret, we're going to move that up to the 6th fret. So that might be a bit of a stretch, but you should be able to get it. And then that's a extended version of the power chord based on the 4th string. And you can move that around too. So to finish off this lesson, I'm going to play a sample chord progression along with a backing track that I made, so you can jam along to some of these chords. If you want some a handout of the chords and the progression, then you can go check out the handout for this lesson. It'll be there for you, so you can join in. Otherwise, that's all for this lesson, and a lot of power chords in different types of shapes and power chords to take away and experiment with. But if you can get a basic grasp of all these chords, or at least a couple of these chords, you should be able to instantly start sounding like some of your favourite rock bands and metal bands of your childhood. And that was the case for me, case with a lot of guitarists, so I'm sure it'll be the same for you guys as well. So let's just get straight into the backing track now, and have a good jam, and I'll see you in the next one.